Kids of the 60s. But Woodstock was not sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It was civil rights. It was Vietnam War. It was youth power. It was the nation coming together.
Well, come on, all of you big, strong men. Uncle Sam needs your help again. Got himself in a terrible jam way down yonder in Vietnam. Put down your books and pick up a gun. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Don't ask me, I don't give a damn. The next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7. Open up the pearly gates. Well, there ain't no time to wonder why. We're all gonna die.
It started in the 50s as part of the civil rights movement. In other words, the gains that were made for most Americans were not made for all Americans. How are we going to tell those people in Vietnam how to live if we can't treat our own people right over here? And what about sending people over there who's too young to vote on it? And why is it somebody could go over and get shot for their country and can't go down to the bar and have a beer for their country?
You got a 15-year-old girl sleeping in the field in a tent? Are you out of your mind? Never should have happened.
Do you feel bad about the kids who were killed in Vietnam?
This has nothing to do with Vietnam.
It's the same thing.
Nothing at all to do with it. It's no comparison.
People got more excited about the kids in Monticello than they do about the
never should have happened.
Unlike a lot of protest anti-war songs of that whole entire decade, Fixing to Die Rag was embraced by military personnel in Vietnam, much to my surprise.
Now come on, mothers throughout the land, pack your boys off to Vietnam. Come on, fathers, don't hesitate, but send your sons off before it's too late. Be the first one on your block, have your boy come home in the box.
You know, and you see how they function on their own. Without cops, without guns, without clubs, without hassles. Everybody pulls together and everybody helps each other. And it works. It's been working since we got here. And it's going to continue working. And no matter what happens when they go back to the cities, this thing has happened. And it proves that it can happen.
I think Janis Joplin said it best when she was on stage. She said, if you have any food left, share it with your brother and your sister. And that's the person on your right and the person on your left.
One of the things that began to happen with the Be-In, with Woodstock, was a kind of verification that there were substantial numbers of people interested in new ways of living and a new culture. And sometimes getting them all together in a big group where you can see each other is the best way to support them.
Jamming is playing hooky. It's really that simple. And when I was in Mission High School, I played a lot of hooky. We didn't know what the hell a bridge was, or a chorus was, or a verse was, and we couldn't care less. We just wanted to play what we heard. If you stay in your heart, you will always be inspired. And if you're inspired, you will always be enthusiastic. There is nothing more contagious on this planet than enthusiasm. The songs become incidental. What people receive is your joy. If you want to grab somebody from the lapels, you know, and you want to make it like, listen to me, you go. So you're hitting two notes at the same time instead of. It sounds, you know, tame, but if you go. You have to have a real deep convictions before you hit that note, and most of the time people go, damn, you know, because, you know, whether it's Ry Cooder or whoever, they hit one note, every hair in your body is going to stand up. And you feel like you just made love, or you just touched God's feet, or both at the same time. You know, that's when music is really, really good. You know, and that's what I learned from Coltrane and Bob Marley and Jimi Hendrix, is that music is a complete ocean.
Music is the whole thing, man. It's an expression of the younger generation. Now, we have the power, we have the tolerance. We can go in front of a television camera, we can go on the air, and we can say with definition that Hitler was wrong, that people who hate Negroes are wrong, right? And we can get up there and shout it to the world.
When rock and roll came along, it gave power to the kids on the street, it gave them something to do, it gave them a feeling that there was something that was theirs, that was not a part of their parents' world, and was beloved because of that.
You are what you are, you make it hard. Something inside is telling me that I've got your secret.
I was hanging out with Stephen. They had thrown me out of the Byrds. And I was singing harmony with him because he had great songs. We dragged Nash off someplace and, you know, sang with him. And it was an astounding thing what he did. How do he do that? We knew what we wanted to do there.
You are mine, you are what you are. You make it hard, hard, and you make it hard.
Now, you got to understand, here's three guys that had been and had bad relationships in bands. David had been thrown out the Byrds, the Buffalo Springfield had broken up, the Hollies were less than desired by me. We didn't want to be in a band, again, ever. And we realized that we would have to be in a band because we wanted this sound. We wanted to do it. That's all we wanted to do.
What have you got to lose?
How was the festival in general? Would you consider it a success?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was probably the strangest thing that's ever happened in the world.
I still have my mud.
About 2 nights ago, that place up there was the second biggest city in New York.
People would begin to follow the festivals, not so much for the tunes, but to get together and create these instant cities, to do this life support, to figure out the food, the garbage, the whole deal, and to live this positive, creative anarchy that I think eventually began to terrify the powers that be.
What did I think of Goose Lake? I dug it. It was a good festival. I've been to 4 festivals now, and it's about the second best one I've been to. My favorite was Kickapoo.
It was the worst drug orgy that was ever held in the United States.
This wasn't just camping out, like sportsmen do, or even outdoors enthusiasts. This was wallowing.
You bathe like this often?
No, this is the first time since I've been here.
Do you feel the festival had some motivation with the fact that you're bathing nude?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't be bathing nude if other people were bathing nude too.
Be on my side or be on your side, baby. There is no reason for you to hide.
It's like in the spirit of the whole festival. You know, people sharing the water.
When you could be taking me for a ride. Ooh, yeah. She could drag me over the rainbow, send me away.
We had this incredibly tight harmony sound, and where was room for somebody else here?
He was just so musical and so good that we thought, well, maybe cramming 4 into a space that's only big enough for 3 will be explosive.
Neil was something else. What a piece of work he was.
Neil was sharing a room with a gerbil.
Actually, 2 Bush babies, but
there you
he was, Harriet and Speedy, in the Caravan Lodge Motel in San Francisco.
You'd walk in the door and these things would ricochet past your face.
They go,
Don't let him out! Don't let him out!
I'm not kidding.
They're
not kidding.
insane.
Harriet and Speedy, the Bush babies.